Sandrina Rydell.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to start my presentation with a very beautiful quote. If you don't mind reading it with me, no man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a part of the man. Well, thank you very much. Someone very wise said this back in the 1600s. What I like about the quote is that it can really apply to everything. If you just think about your life, everyone has a family, we have friends, we have coworkers, neighbors. We're not here on this planet by ourselves. We're part of the human race. But then, how does apply to my speech? Well, I came up with my own code. You don't have to read it with me. So I replaced some words here and there. The red ones are the ones that I replaced. So it's no asset class is an island entire of itself. Every asset class is a piece of the portfolio, a part of total wealth. And my name and the year. Okay, so normally when people think about their portfolio, they really think about maybe their 401k and what their allocation to equity, to fixed income, or if they have any savings. But in reality, that financial portion of the portfolio is just one bucket, if you want to call it like this. We also have human capital, we have real estate, and then we have pension benefits. So I would like to go through them one by one. Um, the pioneer of portfolio construction is Markowitz. He came up with his optimization process. I'm not going to get too technical here, but the exclusive focus was on the financial part of the portfolio and how to maximize returns with at a certain level of risk, or the other way around, how to um, minimize risk for a certain level of returns. The question is, why is everyone so focused on financial assets? Well, it's kind of intuitive because they're so easy to measure. You look at your statement, you see exactly what is there. Also, they're very liquid. You can, unless, well, 401k is it's a different animal, but for the most part, if you have like a normal brokerage account, you can liquidate, you can sell something or buy an ETF or a mutual fund pretty easily. And then also, when retirement sets in, they are a very important part of the overall portfolio. This is kind of just a reminder. What are the other components? The human capital, real estate, and pensions. Human capital. This one is a little bit more difficult to grasp, I think. At least for me, it was when I first heard about it. So it's really the total economic value of an individual set of skills and talents. Well, what does it really mean? So it's the economic value. So let's say if someone is 25 years old, has an awesome degree from a great university, but that person does not want to work or doesn't have to work, their human capital is zero, because the human capital is the present value of all the wages you're going to earn during your lifetime. So this is why it has an economic value. It's whatever the society pays for a certain job, really. And we can get into discussion why doctors get paid so much and other people don't. But that's for a different topic. It is unique because even if you take two people that have the same age, education, and occupation, they can earn different amounts of money because it depends on the location. It also depends on their talent levels and other things. Some may say gender, age, and so on. It is not tradable. If you think about it, it makes sense. You can get paid for your skills and knowledge, but you can't really trade your skills with someone else's skills, even though maybe sometime you'd like to, but you unfortunately can't do that. And it kind of acts like a bond. because if you just think you want to buy a bond, you get coupon payments, and your human capital is uh, paying you wages, so to speak. So those are kind of the so-called coupon payments. I hope I didn't lose anyone. The next important component is housing, and most people are familiar with it. And the housing wealth is really the net equity that you have in the house, which is the home value minus whatever loans, outstanding loans. It has a unique risk, which is leverage, and I'm sure you know how that works. Let's say I purchase a home at $100,000, but my down payment is $20,000. I'm unlucky and the home values in my area plummet by 20%. So now my house is worth $80,000. So it lost 20% of the value, but I lost 100% of my investment because I invested 20%. So that would be an example of how leverage works in this case. This is why even small changes in the total home value can affect your equity by a great margin. Those are just some facts about home ownership in the United States. As you can see, it's pretty high, at least compared to other developed countries, 65%. And home ownership also represents a good portion of anyone's wealth, either from non-financial assets perspective or total asset perspective. Pensions. Well, most of us don't have to worry about them right this second, probably don't even think about our Social Security benefits, but they are important. 9 out of 10 people in the US over the age of 65 receive Social Security benefits. And the monthly benefit is around $1,300. I'm not sure if this is high or low. I guess it depends on the area where you live. I would imagine that if someone lives in New York, $1,300 is very, very little. But obviously this is an average. I love this chart because it really shows the progression of the 4 asset mixes within someone's wealth during their lifetime. If you look, the y-axis shows the percentages, and the x-axis shows the age. So all the way to the left-hand side, if someone is 25 years old, you can see that human capital is really 90% of their overall wealth, because they have 40 years of work ahead of them, so that makes sense. 40 years of earning wages. But then I circled that age group around 55, and then you can see how the human capital portion, which is the darkest portion, just drops significantly, while the pension wealth has increased a little bit. It's kind of constant in that area because the person is still working, but then the financial capital, which is kind of that bluish, lighter bluish area, has increased a lot, and the real estate portion is kind of increasing as time goes on. The real estate is supposed to be a significant asset, considering that we don't have some kind of catastrophe going on, another real estate meltdown. And as I said, this is kind of just a recap of what I just mentioned before. Another recap slide. And I know I'm running out of time. I guess what my point is here, next time when you think about allocating to your retirement account or to your brokerage account, just think about it from a total portfolio perspective. And to give you an example, let's say someone who works in the construction industry and they also own a home, they wouldn't want to have anything allocated to REITs, for example, which are real estate investments. And with that, I'm going to end my presentation. Thank you very much.